Last Sunday, Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle were featured on the Verzuz Series. And while I was eating soul food and enjoying their hits, I was thinking there's a lot of people live streaming because of COVID-19. If you are one of those people that's thinking of adding live streaming to promote your business or services, well, I have some tips for you. So grab a cup of coffee, pen and paper, and let's get started. Welcome to Coffee with Me, Myself, and Ivy, where I provide social media tips, communication industry best practices, with pop culture examples to entrepreneurs and professionals. I'm Ivy. I'm just a PR pro, feeding my coffee addiction and sharing with you some things I have learned along the way. Before we talk about live streaming tips from the Verzuz Series, let's start with a motivational quote, because apparently scientists have found a life form on Venus, and before the aliens come here and tell us to mind our business, let's just get a little motivation to get through the year. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. Maya Angelou. So the Verzuz Series was created by Swiss Beats and Timbaland. It started during the coronavirus era and it's on Instagram Live. It features some of your favorite artists. For example, the memorable Teddy Riley versus Babyface battle, which was very interesting. We're going to get a lot of lessons out of that one. You had Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. You had Nelly against Ludacris, Rick Ross against 2 Chainz, Brandy against Monica, and of course, last week we had Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle, but you still had other genres besides rap and R&B. They even had a gospel versus and a reggae versus. This Instagram Live series was so successful that it has a new partnership with Apple Music. So not only do you watch it on Instagram Live, you can watch it on Apple Music, I believe in HD, and also for the artists themselves, their streams usually go up the next day, or they can plug a product during the Verzuz battle, and it's fun. It gives me MTV Unplugged vibes. While watching this series, I do live streaming a lot for my job, and it made me think of all the tips and tricks that I noticed during the series, whether it's good moments or bad moments, that can help you if you're thinking of starting live streaming to promote your business or your services during this COVID-19 era. Tip 1, have a script. Or it can be an outline or agenda, but just have something to let you know how the live stream is supposed to flow. Never start a live stream without knowing what you're going to actually talk about. And if you're not the subject of the live stream, get an agenda of what's going to happen, whether you're having an event or featuring a band in your business or a conference or something like that. If you're having some type of virtual event and you're in charge of the live streaming, have a script, an outline, or agenda of what's going to happen. For example, for the Verzuz series, they do not just get on camera and just start playing song by song. There's a formula by now. Usually there's a DJ playing music. The guests eventually get on the stage. They may talk to have a discussion with each other, and then they play their songs, but between the songs they may have a backstory about the song, and then towards the end you may get a performance, you may not, but the point is there's an outline, there's a script, there's a flow to the live stream. So just like with the Verzuz series, make sure you have a flow, whether it's a script, an outline, an agenda, to lay out how your live stream is going to go. Engage with your audience. On Verzuz, there's a moment where they read the comments, and it's usually by big celebrities, sometimes record labels, magazines, etc. But there's a moment where they stop and read the comments. Make sure if you're live streaming maybe an interview or a concert or event, make sure you engage with your audience, maybe encourage them to submit a question, or if it's a concert, encourage them to post an emoji with a thumbs up or hands in the air. Matter of fact, if there's possibility of the audience to watch the replay, say hi to the people that are watching the replay. But bonus tip, engage with your audience in some way, shape, or form. All right, tip 2, and I promise you, if you do not do anything else from this video, do this tip. Do a practice run of your live stream. So in my career, I have done live streaming on social media and other virtual conferencing platforms. And whether it's Twitter, Facebook, YouTube Live, or the hybrid of Facebook Live plus Zoom, or WebEx plus YouTube Live, it's always best, if you can, to do a practice run. Matter of fact, do several. During the practice run, that's when you're going to find out how things look on screen, how the PowerPoint's going to look, if the video's going to play, or who needs to say what and when to bring them in to say something, when to take them out, or what settings you need to set. It's best to please do a practice run before your event because, for example, in the Verzuz Series, I think we all agree that Teddy Riley and Babyface needed a practice run. Teddy Riley had a band. He had a backup dancer. He had a whole stage. And when it was time to do the Verzuz Series, Babyface, on the other hand, just had his studio full of Grammys, flowers, candles. And when the Verzuz Series started, there was problems on Teddy Riley's end. And I really feel like if they had a practice run, they would avoid those problems. Because even when they did the Verzuz Battle 2, because the first one messed up, there were still technical difficulties. So please do a practice run. It will help you in the end. Tip 3, please have a strong internet connection. I don't care if it's Wi-Fi, you sit by the modem, or a hotspot. Make sure you have a strong internet connection because technology and the internet is like a toddler. You know the toddler can act right, but when you bring the toddler out in public, it's going to act a fool. So that's no different than your live stream. In the Verzuz Series, Nelly versus Ludacris, Ludacris was fine. Everything was fine on his end. But who was having Wi-Fi trouble or internet trouble? Nelly. Nelly blamed it on a storm. Nelly had issues coming in and out of the live. And me personally, I was annoyed because this was like reliving my high school years, my high school and college years. I was ready to have fun and twerk in my bedroom during this Verzuz, but Nelly's internet kept messing up. So please, learn from Nelly. Have a strong internet connection. For example, for my job, even though I work from home mostly because of COVID, when I have to live stream something big, I actually have to go in the office because we know that's a good internet connection. So please, have a good internet connection before you live stream. If you made this far in the video, make sure you hit that like button and leave a comment below of other live streaming tips that you can learn from the Verzuz Battle Series. Tip 4, have a plan B because technical issues will occur. I'm not joking when I say technology is like a toddler. You know the toddler can act right, but when you take the toddler out in public, it's going to act a fool. That's how technology acts if you have a big event, live stream, whatever. It has a mind of its own. That's why it's always best to have a plan B in case the technology acts up. The perfect example of this is Teddy Riley again. The man tried to have a band, a backup dancer, etc. It looked like it was going to be fun, but it didn't work out. And so even when they tried to do the Verzuz battle again, his internet messed up, I think, or his phone died. And so poor Babyface had to pull out his guitar and do an impromptu concert, which I didn't mind. But you get the point that there was a plan B. Like Babyface was like, well, let me play this guitar. So if your live stream goes wrong, you can possibly have a backup date, already have the messaging ready in case you have to have another live streaming event. Because sometimes, to be real, the technical issues may not be you. You may have done everything on your end. It may be your guests. They may be having issues and there's nothing you can do, especially in this virtual world where they may be on the other side of the country, town, etc. So make sure you have a plan B. Another Verzuz Battle Series example is Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle said 20,000 times that her song lyrics are not on the teleprompter. And she made these songs a long time ago and she wants her song lyrics. She said it 20 times. And so to avoid that, again, it may not be you with the technical issues, or you may have left something out for your guests, but make sure you have a plan B so you don't be like the people doing the verses for Patti LaBelle and then have the song lyrics on the teleprompter. Because Patti asked 20,000 times for those lyrics. I'm just saying. Tip 5. Please promote the live stream beforehand. Again, these are all tips that are good for social media live streaming, or if you're doing a video conferencing live streaming. Please promote your meeting, your virtual conference, your virtual concert, virtual interview beforehand. For example, for Verzuz, they have a whole Instagram account, and I'm sure they're promoting on other social media channels as well. And these are all big stars. Every genre featured a big star. But not only did they promote the event beforehand, they promoted multiple days beforehand, even had content to explain how to watch it on both Instagram and Apple Music. And I actually watched some of those instructional videos. Just because this is created by big artists and this whole series featured big artists doesn't mean that they're not promoting the live stream beforehand. Because if you do not promote it beforehand, no one may watch it. Maybe someone may stumble across it, but if you do not promote the live stream beforehand, people may not be there. So please promote it beforehand so you can get the most views possible. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and join me every week for social media tips, communication industry best practices with pop culture examples. Remember, keep your peace.